Let me hit the record. And I'm going to give you control again. Oh, okay. Perfect.
Great. Do you see the screen right now?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So, yes. So basically, this is a little bit my interpretation of the journey that we are all doing. So maybe you heard about that we are star seeds or we come from the stars. But what does that actually mean, like in the deep sense and in a very logical sense? Can we explain it? Because there must be a link between where we are right now and the star. What's the space in between? So this is showing you a little bit where the stars are and where maybe we are a little bit, and how the journey is going to look like, more or less. So this is just my perspective. And if there is anybody there who feels that there is something to add on, then they are really welcome to contact me, because I've been having a lot of help from others also to decode this chart. So it hasn't been only my creation, it's been a co-creation. And I feel that is what this is about. It's about bringing the puzzles together. So what I would say the journey starts is like the water has a journey. For example, you have a source in the mountain, and that water wants to go to the ocean. So it has a journey, that water. It goes and becomes a creek. From that, it goes to a river. And from that, the river flows eventually into the ocean. So there is a journey of the elements. What about the essence that we are? What about the soul? Is there a journey there? And I guess so. And that journey starts in the mom's womb. When the sperm and the egg meets each other, there is a flash. And that is what I would call, that is when the soul comes into play. And there it is in incubation mode for 9 months. So there it needs time in order for it to go from the container, which is the womb, into container, which is the house or the home. And this is what we have here, the 2D meta. And here you are a baby until you're age 7. But if you are an adult and you're still in this consciousness, then you're not being called a baby anymore. You're called a slave, because that is your vibration. You're vibrating as a slave, or what we call a slave, being slave for the system or slave of the matrix, or whatever you want to call it. This is that, the 2D. When you are in this consciousness, when you're a baby, you're in complete dependency on your parents. So you need your parents to keep alive to sustain yourself. And that is the home, the container. When you go from the 2D to the 3D, now the container is different, because the container is not your home anymore. The container is the society. And this is what we call the matrix. Normally, you should be in this state of consciousness from 7 to 18. And then it's, of course, it's when you're 7, you are more into 2D. When you're 18, you're more into 4D eventually. So this is how that looks like. So what we are actually calling people who are living in the matrix is that they are in a consciousness state as children or early teenagers. That's their state of consciousness. That's their state of vibration within, that is then has a reflection without. And the majority of the people are in 3D in this world right now. When you do the work, and when we call the work, is when you do the things that is increasing your inner vibration, then you will ascend into what we call 4D. And this is what we call Hades or Shiva's realm. This is now Poseidon or Vishnu. And this is the 4D. In 4 dimension, your realm is now the world. That is the world travelers that have seen the world. That is the kings and the queens. That is when you become sovereign. There are still some rules, but it's more open. You're feeling more free. And the container name is Atlantis.
So Atlantis, some people see that as like a physical place, an actual civilization. To you, it's more of the realm itself in the 4D dimension.
Yes, well, it's Atlantis is within also. When you create Atlantis within, you will experience Atlantis without. But right now, the problem we have is that we are not so many in 4D. And the job now is to create a 4D society. So what's going to happen is that the more and more people we are that become quantum, that become 4D, the more and more we're going to see a 4D society. And that is the return of Atlantis. I don't know if that makes sense for you.
No, that does. That does. Very much so. Plus synchronizing it too, like with the chakras, like this is one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you, because everything does syncretize. So at the end of the day, there is truth in what you're explaining, and yeah, continue. Totally making sense.
Okay. So if it makes sense, then maybe this makes sense. So if you see here, in the 1 dimension to the 2 dimension, how is the ascension there? It's through the womb. It's through the mother, right? But in the 1 dimension to 2, you have your individual mother, that we call it. But in the 4 dimension, because the container is the world, now there is a different womb that you need to go through. And that is what we call Pachamama. Now, let's say, brother, that we are all believing in Pachamama, right? We are spiritual people here, believing that this earth is Pachamama. Well, let's say we agree upon that. But if we agree, then my question is, where is the portal? Where is the womb that will bring me out from this container? And I would like to show you that container in the whiteboard, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
So you talked about Santos. So Santos, he agreed upon this module. There is no disagreement. He agreed that this is the sun. He agrees that this is the moon and that they are dancing around the star of Polaris. That is the only star that doesn't move. It's the fixed star. Like Baba Noel is from the North Pole. And in the Christmas tree, you have the star above the tree.
Right.
The tree of life. So that means that they are showing you that the tree of life is under the star of Polaris. And where is that? That's the North Pole. Here we have the firmament mentioned in the book of Genesis. God created a firmament, a dome, where he attached the stars, and he created one light for the day and one lesser light for the night, for the darkness. That's the moon and the sun. Now here in the middle, you have what I would call the womb. And here you have the land in our realm, right? Does this make sense? Okay. What if this? What about this? What about this? What about this black sun? And what about this here? And what about this? Now you see in the 4D, this is the womb. And when you grow, when you learn the game, and when you're ready, you're going to go out from here, out to the other side, and into what we call unity consciousness physically. This is the sun and the moon in one. This is what becoming one actually means.
Mm-mm.
Like the movie Matrix, they are in inner Earth.
Yes, they are.
They call
Very
it
interesting.
Zion.
Right. So that's the moon and the sun coming as one, creating the black sun.
That is that is the moon and the sun. Our sun and the moon was once one.
Mhm.
Like the tree of life is creating from within. So let's say that this is the black sun, and here is Eden with the four rivers, which is in and out. But you make it from a top, you would see it like this. That this is our realm. This is our moon, and this is our sun.
I see. Mhm.
So they were once one. The sun and the moon here were was one. And then what happened is that they separated. They started the dance, and then the new core came in. So it's a ripple effect.
Mhm.
And here you have the Lemurian realm. When they say occupy Mars, this is what they mean. This is Mars and this is Venus. So when they say we're going to occupy Mars and extraterrestrials, meaning extra terra, extra land, they
Extra
are telling
land.
you, yes, they are meaning this place here. And when the Dogons say we come from Africa, we come from here with spaceships. So hold on a minute. You say that you are the original man. You are the Abu original. Yes, we are. And we agree, you are that. But you say we came here from spaceships. So that means you are not from this realm. It's not my story. It's what the natives themselves say about themselves. You see, because here is Saturn and here is Jupiter. And this 7 points is exactly your 7 points in your chakra system. You have Saturn, which is your crown. We have Mars, your pineal. We have your throat, that's the moon, and which is the most magnetic point here, well, the center. That's
That's
Eden, heart.
the heart. Hmm.
Solar plexus, that's the sun, solar. Venus, of course, that's the womb. And Jupiter, of course, that's the root. 7 points, 7 points. As within, so without.
Mm.
And also you have the Taurus field going like this inside of you. So that's 4D to 5D. But from 5D, they say it themselves in the Bible story. They say there is a difference between Eden and Garden of Eden. And I would actually love to show you a clip on that when they explain that, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna share the YouTube clip here. Do you see now the video?
Yes.
Okay, look at this. Okay, so let's say we agree upon the Bible story for a minute. That means that the Eden is the 5D realm. Here is the genies and the fairies, and there is no rules anymore, because when you go to Eden, completely free. No police, no, you don't need that, because you have reached a high level of vibration where none of that exists. and you don't see low vibrating people. In the 4D, you still do. You're still between 3D and 5D, you see? But in 5D, it's different. So also, we put the characters here, the Genius Fairies. Why? Because we know that in our program that we have been brought in to believe is that we know that the genius and the fairies, they never speak to the people. They always speak to the kings and the queens. But it's the kings and the queens that speaks to the people because they are speakers on behalf of the people. So here we see again that the energy we have within also creates different roles, different responsibilities, different purposes that we have. And in this game, according to me, the game goes that the 5D serves the 4D, so the 4D can serve the 3D and down. Because the genius knows in order for them to get served by the 60s, which is the angels, they need to serve the 4Ds.
Mm.
So that's what I believe is a little bit the game, how it looks like. Wait, we don't see here. I want to. Yeah. There we have it again. Here, the 60, 5D and 4D. The connection, bridging the dimensions.
Right.
So before I move on, I just want to hear your view on it so far. What do you feel?
No, I've watched your work and I haven't seen this one specifically, but no, it's all lining up. And what's really coming to me because I'm doing my own, like I told you, my own little separate research. It seems that we have all these systems, all these diagrams, all these truths representing these different dimensions, and they all seem to syncretize all together. So in the human design, I don't know if you're aware of that model.
Yes, I am aware.
So there's been a shift from going from a centered spiritual being within us to a nine-centered. And just like you're explaining here, a lot of people still operating in an old energy, if that makes sense in a way.
Yes.
So as we shift, as you say, consciousness, we have to recognize these different dimensions, like you're displaying 40, 5D, 60, and it's a progression, it's a pattern. But some people are just, like you said, it would make sense. They're stuck in a 2D because they don't even realize the energy or the frequency of the shift that we're in today. So
True. They don't realize the energy that we are in today, the frequency.
the frequency. Mm-hmm.
I agree, and it's interesting you mentioned human design because human design was being created by a man called Ra,
Mm-hmm.
and he got this download in Ibiza, which is a very small island in the Mediterranean, off of Valencia and Barcelona in Spain. And I lived there for 3 years, and I got this information also in Ibiza, in the same place where he got it. And his name is Ra, and I'm Raji.
Right.
There's a lot of interesting
A lot of connections. Mm-hmm.
And he also used the personalities. If you're a 3-5, or you're a 4-3, or you're a 5-6, or you're a 6. And I think what he means is this.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the angle cross of Eden. That's my incarnation cross.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. So I'm here to talk about Eden.
Yeah, so it all comes together, man. It all comes together.
It all comes together. Yes.
Something special about Ibiza.
Something very special about Ibiza. Yes, very special. It's going to be the new central point for Europe, for this new consciousness, for this new earth movement. Ibiza.
Interesting.
6th dimension, angels. The difference between an angel and a genie, 5D and 6D, is this. 5D have choice, so they can go from different directions. Let's say they want to go this way. That's their goal. Yeah. And here it just loops. It's a little bit like Lord of the Rings, if you can mention that. I don't know if you've seen the movie, brother.
I've seen it.
So you know Gandalf in the cave, he starts to forget the way. So he has a choice. Either you go that way or the other way. And then he thinks, right? And then eventually he knows the way. That is what 5D needs to do sometimes. They need to stop and think about the way, and then eventually they find the way very easily. So they're good in navigating the way, but they still have these choices. And this is 5 dimension. 6 dimension doesn't do that. 6 dimension, how you recognize if someone is an angel within, maybe you met somebody and you're like, oh, this person is like an angel. It's because they are operating at 6 dimension. And that is that there is no choice. They're going from here to here in one way. No choice.
So they're just being.
They have no choice. There is no choice. They never go into a choice between what should I do? Should I do this or that? Because they stream in 6 dimension, you stop downloading information because you're letting go completely of the downloading, the information that's coming within, that you grasp it, you see, because you let it flow like exactly like a computer do. And as I told you, how did the 2D develop? Well, the 2D developed like, how did we watch movies in the computer? We downloaded the movie first and then we watched it. Now we don't need to do that anymore. Now we are streaming. We don't need that memory. 6 dimension is exactly like that. They don't download and have a lot of hard drive because that just creates a lot of unnecessary data.
No, that's a beautiful connect. They stream, which is what every major company does now, is stream.
Stream, yes.
I love it. I love it.
And that is what's going to happen to us. We're going to stream more and more. Like now, I didn't plan anything today. So I want to tap into my streaming. Not the inorganic artificial streaming, the organic one.
Yeah, I didn't have nothing planned either today either, brother. And then when I got that message, I was like, let's go. Because that's what I'm about too. I'm the number 9, path life. So it's all about flow. And yeah, I'm loving this presentation, brother. Like I'm having I got my little board too. I do the same. So I have my board here. So as you continue, we're gonna go back and forth. But no, this is what I love, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters who are watching. When you put yourself in a position to receive, nothing is new underneath the earth. We know that. Everything that we receive, an idea, an invention, a thought, comes from the ether, right? Our invisible plasma
Yes.
pool. So when you're able to, like, you can tell, well, you can see or even feel and resonate that he's streaming because he's been able to receive this download and now to interpret it in a way that everybody else is talking about it, but this is his own unique truth. And that's what I love. So I appreciate that.
Yes. Can we go into the 7 dimension?
Let's go.
So the 7 dimension is the Archangels. And they live on the foot of the mountain. That's Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael. That's the L. And also Lucifer. Because in the Bible, Lucifer was an archangel that became a dragon.
Draconis.
And that's the 8th dimension. That is the mountain that they talk about in the Bible when they say this mountain that reaches heaven. Because what it is, it's the highest mountain with the highest frequency. And if you're able to be there, then that's the last stage until the real ascension.
Like Mount Meru.
Mount Meru or Mount Olympus, Zeus and his 12 disciples. Brahma is also on top of the mountain, no?
Yes, he is.
Or Jesus with his 12 disciples at Mount Zion with 144,000 is going to sing the song. And that's us, brother. Who else? Who else but us? That's us in this time, space, and space and time. 144,000. Yes, we are that. And 1 + 4 + 4 is what? 9. As you said, you are the number 9. And that is, what is higher than the dragon? What force of energy is above the dragon? Well, we know that's the stars. That's the 9th dimension. And that's the highest visible light. Going in and penetrating the crystal mountain, the 8D, and then creating 7 archangels or 7 rainbows. That is that. 987. But what's beyond the stars? Because in my dream, what happened to me is that I went through all of these dimensions, from the 2 dimension to the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up above. So that's why I'm able to explain it, because I have experienced it. I have already experienced all this journey in the higher dimension, because in my dream state, which is the real state, people don't think that the dream world is the real world, but it is.
It is.
But we don't experience it with our eyes, we experience it with our soul. That's the soul travel. So beyond the 9, this is in scientific terms, they call the black hole, the void, the 10th dimension. And this is very, very interesting, because these dimensions, 10, 11, and 12, are very sacred. Now we are going into the sacredness. As Jiddu Krishnamurti say, go to the beginning. His last speech was, what's the origin? And that is sacred, he said, the origin. And the origin is this. No body anymore, man. You can't say that God is in form. God has no form, but it's the language that separates us. God has no form. God is only sound. The Om. This is the Om. Om. Creating. That's the 11th dimension. From the black void, you have the resurrection and the light sound, the 12th dimension. This is the diamond in the sky that everyone has programmed within them. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up and above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. But I also want to show you the 13th dimension. Because look, again, the 12 is only one like this, right? If we only take the 12. But the 12 is not only one direction, because we know it's always 4 direction. So again, look at this. Multi-universes. That's the temple cross. That's the iron cross. This is the center. So like the Star Wars movie, when they go from one star system to another, what they do is they are going through this. Let's say this is our void and this is the stars. And then you have another here. and a void and stars. So what they do in Star Wars is that they are teleporting from here, zoop, zoop, to that star system. And that we can do with technology. We can go through this void because the void is nothing. So you can go through it with technology, with teleportation.
Yeah, this is interesting because I've been working on, like you said, you brought up Om. And when you say A, E, I, O, U, that is the personification of that word. Om. That's what you're saying, the five vowels. But I've come to find out that there's 7 vowels. I mean, not 7, there's 12. Just like the Kabbalistic, you have your 5 short and your 7 long enunciations of each letter. So there's really 12 vowels.
Vowels.
Mm-hmm.
And what are these vowels, these 12?
So you have A, E, I, O, U, which is your
Mhm.
5 principal vowels that we use, especially here in America, in our English grammar. But then they've added Y and W to make it 7, if you want to recognize that as a vowel. But then you have, within those 5 letters, you have 12 different ways of enunciating it.
Yes.
You see? So you have,
Yes.
so as we're using it in just the 5 letters in just one way. And just like you said, there's 12 different ways to personify it through sound.
Yes, and I also believe that when our throat chakra upgrades, we're going to be able to make sound that we never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And when we hear this sound, it's going to activate the DNA within.
I believe it. I believe it.
So I believe, yes, sound is very powerful.
That's it. This is a portal. You know, that's all it is.
Yes.
Just like we have the 12 centered being, we have the 7 chakras, 1 above, 1 below, 2 hands, 2 feet. You know, and these are our portals: the hands, the feet, the throat. So even the eyes. So no, yeah, this is all tying up. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm having a lot of. At the same time, I'm listening. I'm processing. So
Yes. Yes, it's a
I
lot
agree.
of information. It can go very deep, this information. Not everyone can handle this
Right.
because it's too much when you really go into it.
So you said so sound and light because solar luminences. So where does the light come in? Or is everything that you've spoken of from the 1D to the 12D, all that is light? And then because you're saying it's sound, because we do live in a solar, like everything is light and sound. So where does
Yes.
the light come in, or is the light been in play the whole time, if that makes sense?
Yes. So the light, if you've seen, have you seen infrared? I would like to show you
Mm-hmm.
the clip. Let me see here if I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can only see the 7 that comes from the white light, and you have an above and below.
Have you seen this before in your life? When the egg is fertilized with the sperm.
Mm-mm.
So this is the egg, right? And this is boom when the sperms comes in. And when you have an infrared camera, you see this. Okay, look at this. Boom, boom. You see the light? You saw it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the light comes in. But it's this light eventually in the 9 dimension, it's so strong, it's a star. In the 1 dimension, you can't even see it. You need a microscope to zoom in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, now you get it. So that is
Wow.
our light expanding, expanding, expanding. And then eventually in the 9 dimension, we're going to become a star. Right now, we are between 3 and 4 physically. We are slowly becoming quantum beings. So that means we're going to be bigger and bigger eyes, more sharp eyes, better skin, different bodies, more light bodies, crystalline.
Crystalline, exactly.
Eventually our carbon-based body is going to get more and more crystalline, meaning like a window. Like a window, you're able to see it more transparent. You're going to see the body. That's why in the avatar, they are blue, because what you see through the window is the water. That's why Aladdin, the genie, the 5D, is blue. The blue beings, they are the Christ. Krishna is blue. The avatars are blue.
And just like you said, an avatar, to get to that dimension, you had to go to a dream state.
Yes, you have to go through the dream state.
Very interesting. Roger, we have 4 minutes. I don't know if you wanted to continue. I know this is your day off. If you just wanted to end it here, but yeah, we have 4 minutes. I don't know where you wanted to take it, but yeah, so far this is amazing and I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yes, brother Nu. Everything is good. I don't know what to more to share. I think
Okay.
for today, it's good to have this as a base, I would say.
Perfect. Perfect.
And then we also have a channel where you can come in, and if you want to join our Telegram group, we have a Telegram group also. So with
No, absolutely.
65 members. So yeah, we connect with each
Yeah,
other.
we'll share information. And so since we're gonna end this here, thank you again. Like you said, he just shout out. Do you have social media, YouTube? How can they connect with you or other brothers and sisters? How can they connect with you, Raj? Because I know you're part of the Star Show. So
Yes, so we have a YouTube channel called The Star Show. But if you don't find the channel just by searching Star Show, you can search for Star Show and Raji or Star Show Eugene, and then we will come up. And we also have a Telegram group. I have Instagram, which is free.humanity.now, which you can follow there. I put some stories up about different topics. And also Facebook, Raji King Auraman. So yeah, they can contact me through that, and also mail rajikundaraman@gmail.com. So maybe you can put the descriptions in the descriptions.
no,
So
well, I'll do that for you. No, absolutely.
thank you.
And once again, this has been amazing. Like you said, this is a great build. Would love to have you back on, even with Eugene. Love that brother.
Yes,
He is amazing. He is just a light. He is a true light. Maybe, if time permits here in the future, we can both have you on and continue to expand on this or another topic. But yeah, what about a minute to go? Is there anything else you want to express? Anything on your heart?
I
Any
just
last minute?
thank you. I just want to say thank you so much, brother, for the things you are doing. And together we are now connecting, and we are creating this bigger picture and this bigger bridge for people to learn more about how to live a healthy, sustainable life, how they can increase their light within, and how we can all help each other to lift each other's up. So thank you so much for the work you are doing.
Thank
And
you, brother.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. And I appreciate you and brothers and sisters who are watching. We appreciate you as well. Like I said, we'll go ahead and end this. I'm gonna leave all his descriptions below, you guys. So if you do have any questions, comments, or you do want to connect with Raji or Eugene or the Star Show, I'll leave all that in the description. And once again, yeah, this was last minute, a weekend edition, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I had some moments and I have some things in my head to put things together. But Raji, again, thank you, brother.
Thank you
Enjoy
so much,
yourself
brother.
there in Costa Rica, and no, be blessed and be safe out there. Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
You too, Papa.
Love and peace. Love and peace.